Hi all, welcome back to Oops with C++ session 22. Till session 21 we have seen the procedural approach of C++ and from from today's session onwards we will see object oriented approach of C++. We have already discussed that C++ is not a pure object oriented programming language, but it is having procedural approach as well as object oriented approach also. So we will see object oriented approach of C++ from now onwards. Okay, so in this object oriented approach of C++, we have to mainly talk about data types, data types before going to discuss about the before discussing about class and objects. So you might have already heard about that something like inbuilt data types, user defined data types, right? So what is inbuilt data types? Inbuilt or primary data types, we can also call it as primitive data types. So these inbuilt primary or primitive data types are nothing but this size and the behavior is already predefined for these data types. Okay, so before coming to the language, before you do the program itself, you will be knowing what is the size of the data types. Example for this is integer, character, float, double, bool. So for example, you will know the size of this integer, character, float, double. Integer, for example, integer is 4 bytes which will hold, and what is its behavior? It will hold integer values. Char is an 1 byte size and it is holding character single character values. Okay, and bool is 1 byte which is holding true or false values, that is the behavior. And so from this inbuilt data types, again there are intermediate data types, we can say derived data types. These derived data types are derived from inbuilt data types. Example for this is arrays, pointers, references, and functions. Okay, now the third one, and the important one is user defined data types. Here, the size and the behavior is not predefined. Okay, and user don't know when you are doing a project, when you are writing a structure or a class, if you are creating an employee structure, your programming language don't know how much size is defined for that. Once you define that structure, then only your programming language knows. No, but integer, character, float, those are already present and the sizes are fixed and it is predefined their behaviors also. So here, who is going to define the size and behavior? Size and behavior is defined by the user or a programmer who is using that programming language. He will say, for example, for this is class, structures, union, enum, type def. Okay, so what what is the size of a class, or what is the size of a structure, or how what is the behavior of this class, or what is the behavior of this structure? All these things will be defined by the user. It won't come with the language. So that's why it is user defined data types. Who is defining? User is defining these data types, and these are inbuilt data types. Okay, so going forward we will see these user defined data types, that is class and structure. So we all will see the difference between class and structure also. And anyway, union, enum, type def is not required for our um, concepts, like for object oriented approach. Okay, we are our main focus is class and structure also only for 2 to 3 sessions we'll discuss. After that we'll completely focus on class. Okay, so now whenever you are designing any object oriented programming language project, you have to follow some of the design steps for this oops programming language. Okay, so what are those design steps? Those design, we have 3 design steps, that is abstraction, encapsulation, and establishing relationships. So abstraction means establishing relationships means how the objects, one object, how it is related to another object, or how one object is communicating with another object. Okay, so now we will see in upcoming sessions, we will see all these concepts only. So in today's session, abstraction is a small topic, but it is very important topic. Okay, so we will see abstraction first, later we'll see encapsulation, for 10 to 12 sessions, and after that we'll see remaining sessions, we'll see establishing relationships. Okay, so whenever you are designing any object oriented programming project, you have to follow these steps: abstraction, encapsulation, and establishing relationships. Let's focus on abstraction first. So what is abstraction? So for this, let's take one example. Okay, it's an real world entity. So real world entity is nothing but who is having physical existence. Okay, so this guy, and he is associated a lot of the things, like some of the characteristics he is having or attributes he is having, that is like name, Aadhaar number, salary, qualification, blood group, software languages he knows, and his genetic history. And also some of the actions he will perform or behaviors he is having, that is like maybe how he will speak, his communication skills, how we will do the programming, his programming skills and his debugging skills, and also some of the skills like smoking skill, drinking skill, eating skill, how he will eat, how he will smoke, how he will drink. All these are associated with him. Okay, so all these, either these characteristics or attributes along with these behaviors, all are associated with to this guy. Okay, now assume this person is going to attend an interview. Okay, so when he is going to attend an interview as an interviewer, okay, what and all is required for you as an interviewer? You need his name, Aadhaar number. Of course, Aadhaar number is required to avoid duplication of the applicant. Okay, so salary is also required. How much salary he is earning? What is his expected salary? Okay, all the salary information is also required, qualification is also required, and also you have to know what software languages he knows to work in our organization. At the same time, you will also see how he is communicating, and also you will see how he is doing the programming. You will give some question and you will say write this program. You will see how he is writing the programming, how he is doing the programming. His programming skills also important. At the same time, if some issue is given, how he is going to debug that issue, or how he is debugging debugging. Okay, these skills are required. But what about remaining attributes or characteristics and behaviors like blood group or genetic history? Blood group we don't want. As an interviewer, you don't want the to know about his blood group, because based on blood group, you are say if he is having A positive, then you are not going to ask C questions. If he is having B positive, you are not going to ask C++ questions. It is not like that, right? So we won't be taking his blood group, and genetic history also not required. When you are interviewing, why do you want whether how many cigars he is smoking per day, and what brand of drink he is having, and what is eating every day, how many times he will eat, what are the food habits he is having. All these things are not required. That is unnecessary information for an interviewer. So when the from the interviewer point of view, even though all these informations are associated with him, from interviewer point of view, what and all is not required, that he will ignore. So he will extract only the essential informations for him, whatever is required for him. Okay, so this is one example. And assume same person is going to an hospital and meeting to a doctor. Now from doctor point of view, what is required? His name is required, Aadhaar number is required. So now Aadhaar number is compulsory everywhere, right? So Aadhaar number is required. Now salary, qualification, software languages he knows, that is not required, because if you know C, I will give penicillin. If you know C++, I will give some other. Okay, so your medicine and your treatment won't be decided on the software languages you know, right? Or the qualification you have, it will be same. It will be based on your problem. Okay, not based on your software languages. And also we need blood group, and also we need genetic history. So blood group, if any blood loss is there, to give another blood you need blood group. Okay, genetic history. If you are suffering some genetical diseases, they need some genetical history also. And also how you are communicating, or if you are doing very, if you are very good in C++, then treatment won't be good. It is not like you will give a good treatment, and if you know Java, he will give a still better treatment. It won't be like that, right? So whether you know Java or if you don't know any programming skills also, that is not required. Okay. And what is required, his behaviors, he has to know, doctor has to know how you are smoking, what is your smoking habit, and what is his drinking habit, what is his dieting plan, how he is eating. So these behaviors is required. Okay, even though all these things are associated with him, from doctor point of view, what is not required, that he will ignore, and he will focus only on the required things essential to him. Whatever essential to him, he will collect that one, and he will remove unnecessary information. So I think by this time you might have got the idea on abstraction. What is abstraction? So what is abstraction? Collecting essential details and hiding unnecessary information from the real world entity is called abstraction. Okay, so what is that? Collecting essential details and hiding unnecessary, hiding or neglecting the, removing the unnecessary information is called abstraction. Okay, so abstraction is very, very, very important concept. Okay, so if you want to avoid the future problems, you have to do a proper abstraction before coding. So before coding, before starting the project, you have to properly abstract what is required, what is the purpose of your project. Okay, so what exactly is required, that abstraction is properly required. Okay, now one point you have to remember is abstraction will vary from one application to another application. Okay, just now we have seen, if a person is going to attend an interview, and from interviewer point of view, the necessary information is different, and from doctor point of view, the informations are different. Even though all the informations are associated with the same person, but it is differ from application to application or person to person. Okay, it is different how they are viewing. Okay, so that's about today's concept, a small topic, but from next topic onwards, we'll see encapsulation for around 20 sessions, and rest of the sessions we'll see how to establish the relationships. Okay, that's about for today. Thanks for watching. And sorry, before that, just take these assignments. So I'm sharing the, as a start of sharing the assignment questions. So I'm just keeping in mind, so what are the interview questions generally freshers will face, and also experienced persons. I'm adding all. So even though few questions are not targeted to experienced persons, at least it is targeted to freshers. Okay, so since I'm making the videos from freshers to 6+ years of experience, I'm keeping all type of questions. So the questions, what is the difference between primitive data types and user defined data types? Just say how you can differentiate it, and also how can you define abstraction. See, there is no standard definition for this. You keep the sentence your own words. Okay, so it's not like whatever I have mentioned, or whatever you have studied in some books, don't put same thing. Okay, you define it in your own way. So why abstraction is required? Just think, if I'm not properly doing abstraction, what are the problems will come? Just use your common sense and explain on this. Okay, don't follow or don't read something. You just take the input and don't replicate the same information in the interviews. Okay, try to write what and all you feel. Okay, that's for today. Thanks for watching. Okay, please like, subscribe, and share. Okay, please share it. Even though if you're not liking or subscribing, please share it. At least it will be useful for some or other persons. Thank you.